Absolutely. And don't get so easily offended with
Yes.
this, right? When people put up boundaries and
Mhm.
you go into work and you say hello and you keep moving.
Yep.
I'm friendly, like, I always want to make sure things are happening in the space and all of that. But when people
Mhm.
push back, I still respect them and I
Yes.
keep it moving.
Keep it
And
moving.
one piece you say in here, and it really, I think you just spoke on it. Don't assume friendship because of the kindness from a colleague. Other
Yes.
things to watch out for with colleagues: don't be toxic workmates or the one that is difficult. Kindness costs nothing and pays dividends. And I love that. I mean, my
I
business
said, I,
partner,
I said, I said all of that.
you did page 146 right in the middle.
It's right there.
And don't throw your colleagues under the bus to curry favor with your boss or higher ups. Try
Yes.
your best to solve workplace conflict before you involve bosses and mediators. Don't be the reason that people hate the workplace. And to me, those things are important. Coming from a managerial standpoint, there's always a harmony I want in this workplace. And I
Yes.
set the example myself first. I do trainings about conflict, about all these other cute things to help people if they can choose it or not. And normally when they don't choose it, they walk themselves out of the door because mostly everybody else has caught on to this. The goal is that we're able to connect.
Mhm.
Me and my business partner right now, she called me her big sis. She's my little sis. We are friends. We are family. That's what we are. But I also know who she is.
Yes.
She's a doctor. I address her in those spaces like that. I address her in the emails when we have our, business together. I
Mhm.
address her like that. And a lot of times I get caught up in words when we're around family because I'm so used to calling her by her, her name or doctor name that I'm like, okay, do I call her this name, Marlena right here? And she may listen to this, but I love her dearly. And I just want to make sure that we understand colleagues, business partners. These are all suggestions. This is in this amazing book. This is to get your wheels turning about how you choose relationships. What are
Yes.
you doing in these relationships? How do you show up in relationships? This is about you reflecting about who you are as a person. And is this reciprocated? What kind of example? So the next one you have about sponsors, referrals, and promoters.
Yes. You know, when we were growing up, they told us go to school, work hard, get a job, and everything in your life will be fine.
Folk
Yeah,
paying back student loans, don't know if everything's fine or not, and cannot find a job sometimes.
now,
But anyway,
yes,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
it's good to go to school, get a job, blah,
Yes,
blah,
it
blah, blah.
is.
But the truth is that a lot of times, who you know is what helps what you know to be seen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that from that whole sort of meritocracy mentality, which we know is fake, really, because how come it's the same people getting the same jobs? Let me not walk down that rabbit hole.
Don't, yeah, but I'm gonna pull you back in.
I know. Everyone needs someone who will speak for them when they're not in the room. And the
Yes.
best and only way to get that is to ask and ask unashamedly. Oh, would you putting a good word in for me at blah? Would you mind referring me? If you like my service, refer me to blah. Oh, I contact every year, I contact every single
Mm.
organization that I've spoken for. And I say, hey, last year I spoke for you on blah, 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 blah. Is there anyone in your network that you feel would benefit from this type of talk?
That's
I am
good.
open and ashamed about it. The
Mm-hmm.
best way to get sponsors, promoters, and referrers is to ask and keep asking. But I think that's the part where we need to kind of home in on, because many people are afraid to ask.
Mm-hmm.
People are raised to, I need to work hard for what I got, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay.
Hmm.
To remember that the hardest workers are not necessarily the most rewarded. It's the people who
Absolutely.
can work smart and take
Yes.
advantage of opportunities that are presented. I remember getting jobs that I never even applied for just because I
Mm-hmm.
was in the right place at the right time.
Yes. Yes.
Somebody
Yes.
said, oh, you have a job. I'm like, no. Yeah, then we can start tomorrow. Okay, thank you. I remember getting jobs because my CV was passed to somebody who was somebody somewhere. And the person looked at me, the CV, and said, yeah, okay. Oh, is that right? Okay, tell her to come in. So you see time and again that when you have people that can speak for you when you're not there, it makes your life smoother. It makes it easier because somebody has to know that you exist in order to hire you, send you business, or whatever it is. So it's very important to have these types of people in your life, and don't be afraid to ask. The worst that could happen is they will say no, or I don't have it, or whatever. But guess what? If somebody tells you no, don't forget, you didn't lose anything. You were just where you were before. You didn't lose anything.
Nothing to lose.
You have nothing to lose.
That's the affirmation I've given somebody. And I told them, I said, I want you to say this every time you do those 100 resumes you sent out. You have nothing to lose.
Nothing
where you started at, exactly what you said. If there's let me tell you, rejection, I believe, built me into the woman that I am today.
Yeah, rejection is a good thing.
It's a good thing. When I learned this theory in banking, that's where I learned it at. They said, we want you to get these amount of checking savings accounts open. And the only way that we want to make sure we're going to do this contest that you get 100 no's. That's what they told us to go for.
Oh, wow.
Our goal is to get 100 NO's. Okay. I was so excited, because I saw the theory behind it. And I said, this is good. And I used that to today. I said it to my son. Go see how many
means next.
Get. You understand? Because if you never ask, yes won't come in anywhere. I mean, hey, if I'm trying to get these no's, somewhere in these no's, there's going to be yeses. And it made me successful in banking because I was asking everybody. So when we talk about asking people, the first thing I thought about was making sure that those beautiful rejectors that's in your life, sometimes you can't do anything about them. All right, the rejectors. But they may sometimes be the same ones that may promote you. And it's interesting. I know it's interesting.
I'll take promotion from anywhere.
You see what I'm saying? Sometimes they will promote you, but then you have others who don't know how to promote you. So that's why building these relationships are important. You having character is important because you out there talking about me about something and or to someone, and you're trying to get me involved in something. I'm out here clowning, screaming, yelling, and angry about something. Okay. I was telling you about a situation earlier, and I had to reflect on that situation when I got off the phone. I did. I had to see, okay, God, let me backtrack. What did I say in this conversation? Right? I mean, how did I warrant this? Where do you come? Because I apologized in the conversation. I did. And then I was able to say, let's talk about this. Because I want to be clear about building relationship. I want to be intentional. I want it to be healthy. When it appears to be unhealthy, perhaps this is not a good match. Let's be clear to whoever's listening. We don't have to be friends with everybody we meet. We're talking about they can be sponsors, they can be referrals, they can be promoters. You may not need my business, but you may know somebody else that needs it.
Exactly.
And because you're dealing with something yourself, we may be the best person for this, but you won't refer us because of your hang up. That's why we got to get healed. And I really mean that because I meet people and I say, man, they can use, I may not need their product, but I may be able to refer them out. But then I refer them, and the person I refer them to, they call me and say, hey, did you know this and this and that about them? And then I didn't know. That's how they act. Okay. So we want to make sure that it's reciprocated. That if we have sponsors, referrals, and promoters, we show up with character, with morals, with values,
and with gratitude.
That we appreciate people. They don't have to do this for us. They don't have to.
Buy them a gift. Buy them some flowers,
That's right. Be intentional in that reward. Reward them for the things that they do. Sometimes we think people will have to do it and serve and all of this. We don't. We literally don't. Let's be clear about that, you all. Here's why we're here on Open and Unashamed. We're here because God told us to be here.
Yes.
We're here because we're in the wellness business.
Yes.
We want people whole. We're in it because something worked for us. God worked for us. Christ worked for us when he died. He worked for us. Okay. And so we want to make sure that the gifts and talents that he has given us, we utilize them to build people. We want to be your promoters, your sponsors, your referrers when we connect with you. Christ is that person. He goes out and tell folk about you. Did you know that?
Yep.
So let's go right into acquaintance. I know we're going to wrap things up. We're hoping to get to friends. Oh my God. I feel like we've been on here for, but
I know we can split the episodes up. That's the beauty of recording. That's the beauty of recording. We can make a part 1, a part 2, a part 1, A, B, C, and whatever. It's all right. It's all good and it's all God. Amen.
And it is all good and it is all God. Okay. Yes. But what we like to do, let's end on this note with acquaintances.
Okay.
Let's end with acquaintances.
So people think that acquaintances are an inferior friend, but it's not true. It's not true. Acquaintances are, if you know what an acquaintance is, then you will realize the power of an acquaintance.
Right.
They can help you. Acquaintances are the people who, because your friends tend to be what? In your circle, right? Most of my friends are doctors. So if I want to do doctor stuff, yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, you. But what if I want to do banker stuff or some other stuff? So your acquaintances can do banker stuff. I say stuff instead of the other word. An acquaintance can help you get into new circles.
That's right. Yes.
And then sometimes acquaintances are useful. When I say useful, I don't want it to make it sound like we're using people, but it's just recognizing the fact that if someone is an acquaintance, they don't even have to become a friend.
Absolutely.
It's okay to have acquaintances. And in fact, if we tell ourselves the truth, most of the people that are around us, our acquaintances, are not friends. Because how many friends can you have? You don't have a lot of people don't have that energetic capacity to have 300 friends.
And be intentional about spending time and all those beautiful things.
Exactly.
No.
And then acquaintances, a lot of times you find acquaintances are the relationships that are like almost like Play-Doh. An acquaintance can become a friend, can become a mentor, can become a protege, can become a business partner. So, if you have acquaintances, treat them well. Don't treat them like a pest or like an inferior version of a friend. These are people that might be like, oh, hey, let's go out with this group and have some drinks or have, a dinner or whatever. Yeah. And then you get together, you talk, you energize each other and all that. And everybody goes back into their lives until the next time. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. The acquaintances can be refreshers, right? They can be refiners. They can be people that spend time with you and you don't talk to them every day. But what you do know is you don't mind being in their presence. For me.
Yes.
Because I'm not going to acquaint myself with folk that I don't want to be around or there's energy. You know what I'm saying?
I enjoy them, but they're just maybe not in the same friendship circle. But they're great people to have around you. Yeah,
I mean, I have acquaintances that don't go to church. Yeah. And some people be like, okay, but unequally yoked. No.
I know.
I love this person. They know who I am. I said, and we cross paths. We call, we check on one another, and we keep it moving. I know what my spirit can handle. And once we learn one another, they also respect me and I respect them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what's important.
Yep.
Respect. Okay.
Yep.
Acquaintances.
Okay.
So what I like to do is, you have anything else you want to add to this? Just going through this to me. First of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you for real talk. Thank you for writing this. And what it does is it gives people something tangible to look at and begin to reflect on their relationships that they're building. My prayer is that for those who are listening is that you truly develop healthy relationships. And the only way you can identify healthy relationships is that you reflect on yourself first. Yes. You must see if you're well. This is real talk. So you may need a mentor or a counselor or a coach, therapist, mental health behavior to help guide you through the process. If you say, hey, I don't have any friends, or it's hard to make friends, or it's hard to be around people, then maybe that is something you can talk about to someone, a professional, real talk, because we do need each other. This is how the world evolves. He didn't make just one person.
Nope.
He realized after he made Adam, and he didn't realize, he knew already the plan. But for our sake of reading scripture, he saw Adam and he said, okay, nope, you need to help me.
Exactly.
So we got twofold. And it's the same with friendship. It's the same in partnership. It's the same with building wealth. It's the same in coming together. It's the same in covenant, promise, relationship, forbear one another. God kept saying it over and over and over again, that we need one another, forbear one another. And so how do we do that? We learn that through information like this, so that we can live daily to see how people fit in our lives and how important they are. So as we end today with just having this understanding about how to, be free to be, just being free to be. That's it. Free to be. Free to be. We get this information in this book, and we hope that it honestly blesses you, that you will take a look and listen to this podcast and walk through it and reflect and see yourself in it and make some decisions on how you can be well and how you can allow people who are well in your life. And if they're not well, be able to refer them out to get some help, real talk, in a support system, because you may not be their answer. Okay. And you got to be okay with not being their answer.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Any last minutes, Dr. Shola?
Apart from buy my book.
Apart from buying your book.
Buy my book, Free to Be. It's on Amazon. But I think what I want to say is to remember that relationships should be as reciprocal as they can be. It's not, you don't have to twist yourself into an emotional pretzel to accommodate somebody else. There are 7 freaking billion people on the planet. You don't have to try to win the approval of just 5 of them. It doesn't make sense.
Wow.
And with these days of the internet, you can have friends that are not even in your state, and relationships and mentors and all of that. So relationships should be reciprocal. You're equal to the other person in terms of being a person created in the image of God. Don't be chasing people. If someone doesn't want to be your mentor or project, it's fine. Doesn't want to be your friend, fine. Doesn't want to be an acquaintance, it's fine. It's all fine. Remember, don't try to keep winning people's approval. And I think an important thing is to see yourself as God sees you and love yourself. But that type of attitude, that type of energy attracts the right kind of relationships. If you're self-hating, you just attract scavengers. Want to take, and when I say scavengers, I mean people who want to take advantage of.
Yes.
And then, defining your relationships, and above all, being the change you want to see in the world, and you will attract your kind of people to you.
Absolutely. Well, I definitely appreciate that. I pray that folk will be blessed from this open and unashamed podcast about building relationships. So I just want to say, God bless you, my sister. Have an amazing day. And for those who are watching, we are praying for you in relationships, because we need you. And we believe that we're needed as well. And so we thank you for listening. God bless you.
Buy my book.
Free to Be. And where is it found?
On Amazon. It's there on Amazon. Free to Be by Dr. Shola.
Thank you so much, my sister.